My name is Eileen Giardino, and I'm interviewing a first grade general ed teacher. And today's interview will be on curriculum. And the first question that I have for you is, what educational purposes does school seek to attain?
To educate our students according to their reading, writing, and math levels.
Okay. And who makes decisions about curriculum at Irwin?
The administration, board members, and input from our teachers.
Okay. So then this also lets me know that parents also, in a sense, get to make decisions about curriculum, or not really?
I don't think really. I honestly don't think so.
Okay. All right. In what ways does your curriculum connect to the mission or community of the school?
For us to work with the children individually so that they can become successful learners and an important part of our community.
Okay. How does the emphasis of what is important vary between subjects?
Reading, writing, math are main subjects, and although we have social studies and science, they're also included as well. We try to integrate all disciplines while we're teaching, as well as differentiate our teachings.
Okay. How has this emphasis changed over time?
As time and things change, so does curriculum. Our students are coming in with more advanced knowledge, and therefore the curriculum increases and becomes more sophisticated.
Okay. So, compared with 10 years ago, which would you say is the most important or the most dramatic change that you have seen in curriculum?
I think it's the reading.
The reading.
Has increased tremendously. They're expected way more to do things that our first graders didn't have to do 10 years ago. A lot of things that we're teaching now are what second graders are learning.
Wow.
We're very much more advanced, especially in this district.
Wow. Okay. So Kathy Benedict says that the history of curriculum is the history of us. In what ways have you learned to be a curriculum developer? So basically what she means that the depth or the level of difficulty of the curriculum is ultimately it's dependent on how we respond to the curriculum, and we shape it and mold it over time. So in what ways have you learned to be a curriculum developer, as in, so talking about from the changes in reading in these past 10 years, how have you learned to adjust to the demands that have been put on you?
I think we attend different various workshops to make sure that we're abreast with what's out there, what is expected. And we also have new curriculum materials, and the teacher texts or workshops that we attend help us to teach our children.
Okay, excellent. If you had the choice to make a change as to the curriculum you are currently working with, what would it be?
I think I like to slow down the curriculum a little,
okay,
so that the children can really absorb more of the information.
Okay.
And take time in doing it, because I do teach first grade.
Okay.
And I think repetition is important. However, we're very advanced also in this district. So I think they're not going to do it.
Okay. Okay.
And also the fact that in the past, we celebrated a lot of the holidays with having a big, food, including with food and customs, with the clothes.
Culture.
But we don't do that today, I think, because the curriculum is so tight, and also the fact that we have so many children with food allergies. So we had to curb that. This is the first year that we didn't celebrate holidays like the way we did in the past.
So I've really found that the student body is so diverse, and that's what I really love about student teaching. And I get to work with so many students that have so many different experiences and just things to offer to the classroom.
Which is really nice. That's why we had a lot of these activities at one time. I think the curriculum has intensified a lot, and it doesn't allow us the opportunities that we had in the past. And also the fact that, again, I'm going to mention food allergies is one of the main ideas that we had to stop it. We teach it and we talk about it, We don't celebrate it as big as we did in the past. We used to invite parents to come in.
Okay.
We have a lot of parent involvement,
Mhm.
and they do other things in the evening now, where
Mm.
parents are more involved
Yeah.
as opposed during the day.
Yes. Yes. So, just to go off on a tangent a little bit, so the International Night
Yes.
event. So, just for the listener, the International Night was an evening in which the parents organized, and different musical and dance sort of things were displayed to the public. And what I found really interesting is that Middle Eastern cultures were represented more in this international night, and it's often a culture that gets misrepresented or not represented at all in the public school system. Um, just to see the Middle Eastern culture and the number of students that we have that are from the Middle East, it was very interesting to see them share their culture and share their food and share their family with us. So that is one way that has definitely broadened my view of people from around the world.
Yes, I've been teaching for many
So-
years, so it really has it really has changed in time because of the different types of children that we're getting in. The classrooms are definitely much more diversified, and we do have a lot of children from the Mideastern, whereas before we didn't.
Yes, yes. Okay, so if one wished to make a change in the curriculum, what would be the first step?
Well, basically, we can't change curriculum. You know, it goes through the administration and the board members first. They will decide if and when it changes, and it changes every couple of years. It has to change, and they view it, and then they let us pilot programs, and through piloting, the programs are picked, and that's how curriculum changes.
Can you explain these pilot programs more?
Specifically, what they do is they gather a group of teachers who volunteer from various schools to come together and view the curriculum and then take it back to their classrooms, and they will become what they call a pilot teacher. And then at the end of the year, the teachers will gather together and discuss whether or not the program was valuable for them to do. And sometimes what they'll do is they take several programs, and if they do that, then several teachers will choose what program they liked and why they liked it, and then
okay.
decide. So there is input, but
So it's a collaborative effort.
exactly.
Okay.
It usually is brought to our attention by the administrators on what programs they would like us to model for that point.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So you're saying is that like one individual teacher can't make
No.
a change. So it has to go
Exactly.
through administration, but it has to be not just you, other teachers who are feeling the same thing. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Excellent. So there are cliches that say music is an easy subject to teach and it's difficult to assess. What are the cliches attached to your discipline?
Okay. They usually say first grade is very easy. However, it's really hard to teach because they're coming in. This is the first year that they have formal education. So they're coming into a classroom from a half-day program to a full-day program. They're learning how to sit. They're learning how to listen. They have to begin to write more, follow directions, and answer questions. And then the reading process begins, usually at first grade.
Oh, wow.
Although we have few children that come in already reading. We try to meet all their levels. If they're advanced readers, then we continue where they left off. And we just keep working with them on their level. And then the non-readers will start working with those skills to build up.
Wow.
By the end of the year, they're all reading, and you don't know who started first and who ended last.
Wow, that's great.
First grade's a big challenge.
That's great. So definitely to achieve all of this academic success, there has to be a lot of classroom management involved.
I think the
Right.
classroom management is the major. I mean, there's a lot of things we have to do, but if you don't have classroom management, you lose control, and there could be more chaos. So you really want to make sure that you schedule your times appropriately. And again, there'll be trial and error. You know, once you have an idea of what the expectations of the curriculum is, and know what the children need to learn, hopefully that you can manage your time appropriately.
Okay. Yes. Excellent. So, how has assessment affected your choice in curriculum?
Well, I think it just basically helps us see each child as an individual, and see where we can work with them to improve and get better, because the scores will indicate that. I mean, it basically is a reflection of what they're learning in class. So if they're weak in a particular area, then we can help that child do better and see where the weaknesses are and work with them accordingly. And children who are advanced, of course, we can improve on helping them gain more skills so that they're not bored and they can keep going.
Yes. Oh, okay. So, I know my aunt, she's a teacher in Colombia, South America, and if she teaches general ed and she works with third, fourth, and fifth grade, and she says that in Colombia, in their educational system, if more than I think it's like 35 to 40%, if the students don't perform well, then that gives the administration and the rest of the faculty grounds to look at the teacher's performance, and it
That's what
falls
they're
back
doing
to
here
them.
now.
They're
Chrissy's
doing her
doing
now.
that now.
Okay.
But I think he has always looked at that. I think we've always been somewhat advanced, maybe than some of the other school districts, but we have to show accountability. And the students have to show accountability. And I have to admit, most of the time, the majority of the students really do well. I think because they're encouraged to get involved, and also we encourage parents to get involved. And that's the getting them involved and getting the teacher involved and helping the students will gain a lot of success in the classroom. But I see that now with looking at the teachers, because they want to make sure that the children are learning and performing.
Yes.
And I think by doing a lot of the assessments and keeping on task with them and targeting those students who need the extra help and the extra support. We also have programs like Basic Skills. You know, we send home bags of books, which also encourages them to read, because many children didn't have books or can't go to the library. So whatever we can do to help them better their weaknesses is beneficial to each child.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So, in what ways has curriculum affected your classroom?
I just think curriculum just makes us more accountable to
Okay.
what they need to learn, and to make sure that we continue to help them improve in whatever way that we need to, and use whatever strategies in these areas to help them gain the skills and the knowledge that they need, so that they're really ready to be in second grade.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, and hope everything went well.